Hi everyone, welcome to the Technical RPA. This video we are going to discuss about how will you identify if the process can be automated or not. So what factors you consider while deciding the process to be automated. So this is raised by one of the viewers in Technical RPA which he faced one of the interview. So there is so when we talk about identify the automation, think through that there is some automations coming to your view or else coming to your company. So there is particular gas agency, they are planning to automate their routine process into through automation, which is users having booking their gases to the to a online portal. So once the booking registration has completed, the gases has to be arrived and delivered to their house. This is the process, and this is the repetitive process for each and every customer. So gas agency or gas company is delivering. So this has to be automate. So you have to automate your that application has some Windows application. So you have to automate. There is 5 to 6 screens which is including registration and booking and customer query. So these are all the things you have to automate through your automation tool. So this is the requirement you're getting on it. So how you can think through that this will work or not? Because you doesn't see this is the discovery. Okay. So client has coming with some requirements. You doesn't know how to do or else you have no idea how their application will behave. You have no idea how many days it will take or not. So but still you are okay with that, you are planning to take that automation into your in your hand. So in that case I have to do proof of concept. So client will ask you, hey, give me proof of concept. I don't know how the application will behave or else how your automation will work. So client will not consider about which tool you are using or how your developers. Client doesn't aware anything. So he will ask you, hey, give proof of concept. Just after your discovery, they are asking you the proof of concept. Whichever, what is the proof of concept? The proof of concept is nothing. What you decided and what you are getting the automation is automatable or not. So that is the deciding authority with the managing by client. So that is the only thing for proof of concept. So the thing is how it will going on once you are getting client acceptance, they will start with proof of concept, which is they will give the small, which is you are doing the 4 to 6 weeks of development in real time, but in proof of concept you have to do at least 1 or 2 days. So it is working or not. If it is works, how it works. If it is not works, so what is the if probably you can see, suppose some applications behavior is changing, which means that application has changing frequently their IDs or else their domax path or else some they are frequently changing their applications based on the third party. So in that case, the proof of concept when we start with the developer, the proof of concept has If you have 4 to 6 weeks development, the proof of concept will come under you with 2 days or else 1 day within 8 hours. They will give you the small requirement, that is they will give you their application. Maybe they will send you the screenshots, or else that their application's very small part, or else uh, suppose the application has some customer information, they will not give that customer related things. They will give only the proper login and one more screen. So for sample related things, so they will give, and you have to give automated through your proof of concept. So they have to give demo to front of your client. Or client will see, hey, that proof of concept is working. Probably I can ready to give you the order, which you can easily automate, because the my application is running through your automation, and it would working on it. So the second thing is, sometimes there is one more option is there, that pilot project or pilot version. So how pilot version will work? The same as proof of concept, but the proof of concept is very small. That pilot will give the high risk. So if your proof of concept they are ready with go on that, some clients will not accept you to start the real-time development. They will ask you, hey, give me a pilot version. That pilot version, how it works, that proof of concept you are developing within a 8 hour, your single screen, or one or two screens, how it is capturing everything you are sending on it. Uh, that is mini type of process. But in pilot, they will take their own risk. They will give you all the access. They will give shared drive access. They will give everything. But reality is the pilot, they have to take care the pilot. They will give license. They will give you everything, whatever the tool you are using. So everything you are giving, and they started with it. Your team has to start with creating pilot type of technical documents. This all has to be done in this simultaneous, but it has to work only up to the level of some part. Think through that. They are planning to automate the entire process, which is they have 5 process to automate, and they have to give to you. But the thing is, this pilot will give you only one process. This one process went successfully, then remaining this one process went successfully in the user acceptance testing into the client side. Then they will give some other process based on your pilot. So this pilot version will not go production. Understand that proof of concept is simply you are doing some demo to client. Hey, whatever you are planning to automate, I can I can automate. Your application is behaving good. Everything I'm acknowledging on it. But here, pilot version, they will give license. Proof of concept, they will not give license, but pilot version, they will give license, and they will give you all the access. But that is some levels of development only. So you are developing, and user is testing. That's all that the pilot will be completed. So this is another level. Okay. And second thing is, what are all the process you can identify and you can decide to go to automate. So, what are all the repetitive tasks? Okay, the task which is having repetitive, you can automate. Okay, some task it's running rarely once. Suppose think through that you are planning to automate some some tasks that is like tax proof submission, that kind of task that will take that that type of tasks will be run yearly once. So customer or your client, they are not ready to give automation. It's running yearly once, so we are not ready to give automation to that. So some clients, they will not ready to give automate for which is running yearly once, that kind of things. So whichever is, and the third one is formatted. Suppose think through that they, your application has all about, you don't have access to work directly. So probably it's your application is running inside the Citrix, but your software has been installed in your local desktop. So in that case, how it will work? It's like behaving like Citrix environment. So in Citrix environment, how automation will work? It will work as a you have to create your custom object. It has to take care and it will work on it. For for specifically, if you want to work as Citrix environment, there is options like um, in automation anywhere, there is option like metaverse and keystrokes, it will work. In suppose in Blue Prism they have surface automation is there. So UiPath in data scraping and image scraping methods are available. So in that case, the only the formatted data forms only automated. So what you mean by formatted data forms, which is suppose I'm getting think through that you are automating some of the forms. For example, if you are planning to automate some bank process, so you are, whenever you are entering, you are registering first time into the bank, so they will give you some form. That form has some formats like your name, your address, and your this account number and all they will create. So suppose if you want to create your account, new account creation, so they will give some forms, and you are planning to automate that form through your automation. So how it will work, they will scan that form and give you the image. Think through that image has every time different type of formats. You can't be automated through your automation. That would be the risk from your side. You can't automate. The format is remain same for each and every time, and it is not in handwritten. All the handwritten images and formats are not automated. The formatted datas or format forms only be automated. You can't automate different formats in and through your automation. Whatever the automation tool you can't automate. That would be the risk. So the risk from your side, which means company and whoever having started the development, that type of risk they have to take. See, if you have different data formats, so previously we got that type of process to automate. So how it will work? They have some BPO, that is some BPO. They have different type of diseases. They are giving more than 60 type of diseases. Each type of disease they have different type of treatments. They will send the images for 65 type of formats. So what we that is somewhat reality and complicated. So what they done is they are ready to give any licenses, whatever the cost we have. So we are we purchased Abi OCR. So probably you are aware of it, Abi OCR. That Abi OCR will give you. if you have any type of images, that would be format or else non-format, that this Abi OCR tool will give you the output image to text. The concept is, um, client needs these 65 formats. They will give images. They will send, they will scan, and they will send through images. So we are downloading that images and we are giving input to Abi OCR as the images for different type of formats. Abi OCR give us the output as text. These 65 diseases related data, they will give us, Abi OCR give output as text. So how it will work, that Abi OCR has some of the options. They have each, and if it is come, if you give some formats into Abi OCR, it will store automatically in background like a intelligent. Whenever that formats will come, it will see the format. Hey, this is the disease one, which is heart patient. So probably it will go to the heart patient image scanning, and it will give image to text. The next time, if it is suppose the next image is coming to the picture, that the picture that images are downloading one by one from the FTP site. So in that case, the next time if image is downloading, the abuser will identify, oh, this is not heart patient. This is like a liver problems patient. So it will go and check that liver format, and it will give us text. And so how they will give us text, they will updated all the values into my database. So my from my database as well, I'm extracting data from database, and I will update the data into the client application, like through my automation tool. So this is the way we can, you have to use some of the third party tools in the mid of that. If you have different type of images, which is different type of formats. So this is the way we implemented, we successfully completed. And but in that case, only your automation tool will not enough. It will not enough to do only the automation tool. We need to coordinate with the third party application like AbiOCR, or maybe the tesseract will not give the proper 100 percentage quality. So that is the reason we went for AbiOCR. Some Atlanta soft that also available, that AbiOCR is very high cost. That each and every license is, that is that 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 they give us more than $1,500 minimum. That is even small. If you go with small format text, small format, if you want to convert, they will have, you have to pay very much high licenses. So in that case, you have to be get these all the license cost to your client. You can't take in your side for the risk. If you take your side for the risk, in that you will be under the critical person. So if client is giving only $10,000 for your automation, you have to provide all the $10,000 to your third party application like OCRs, Abi OCR kind of things. So you have no benefited on it once you completed your automation. So so you have to handle uh, that situations. Usually, usually I'm talking about this video for only for architects, which they start, and they work with that business, that kind of peoples. So usually developers will not involve this, but if you know these things, it will be helpful for you. This has to be how the automation has to be identified, how process has to be identified, what are the steps. See, usually you have to make sure there is 5 different phases in RPA lifecycle. RPA has very big deal, and it's not like a small thing. See, there is 5 Ds. You have to clearly, there is 5D phases. You have to be always remember these 5D phases. The first D is discovery, the second D is design, the third D is detect, the fourth D is deploy, detect, defect, deploy. So these 5Ds you have to make sure on it, how it will work. So this is the discovery. The process has to be automated or not. Once the process is automated, then you are coming to design, how you are detecting. So once design is completed, the development, sorry, and instead of detect, development will start. After the development, once your development has completed, you are going to give your work into the other phases like SIT, system integration testing, or UAT. Before going to SIT and UAT, you have to go developer testing. So these all the testing cases will come under the defect. After that, it will be deploy, go live, mini go live, okay, and production, which is you can tell instead of you developer testing, unit testing. So these 5Ds are very important whenever you have the RPA phases. Discovery, design, development, defect like unit testing, SIT and UAT. After that, you are deploying. You have to deploy. See, the deployment is many stages. That is, first, if you are completed your bot, you are going to deploy your bot. In that case, they will suppose you have 10 lakh records. Suppose think through that you have 10 to 20 lakhs records you have to process in real time. So in that case, how they will start with the deployment. The first stages, which is I'm talking about after your unit testing or SAT and user acceptance testing, everything is completed. Now you are going to deploy into the server which is having client. So in that case, you have to start with if you got 20, 10 or 20 lakhs records, they will allow you to deploy only the just 5,000 or 2,000 records has to be uh, maybe extraction or updation or else whatever it may be. So they will allow you small quantity amount to in your live server. That is go mini go live. Okay. So once mini go live is successful, then you are planning to go with your live production. So they will allow you to 1 or 2 days with a go live, and after the mini go live, then it will go with production part. And these are the steps. Suppose here you can see there is I already mentioned that is so what is so what would be automatable, what would be not automatable. Okay, so if you tell not automatable, there is see think through that you are having one application. Okay, that application has very old, like 30 years back. It's developed. it's not allowing you it's not allowing you to capture your data. So we faced some issues in our previous process in automation. So how that application has more than 30, 40 years back application they are planning to automate, which means that that application has several screens. We have to capture all the datas which is having related to the accounts, and once it is captured we have to update into database. After that we have to send report to customer. So this is the one. So how, but this application is so if we captures one time, it's okay, that application is doing good. But if you go to next time, then that particular object is not scrapped, or else object is not working, or else that object ID is changing, so and else it's a lot of slowness. So that type of issues we faced. So in that case, you has to be careful that application has the at initial stage as well. Don't set expectation to client. Don't give any expectation to client. You know that application is behaving differently. So at initial stage as well, you have to tell them, hey, your application is behaving like a old guy, so don't worry. But we are planning to automate, but it's not working on it. So probably if it is not automatable, then we are not responsible. That kind of assurance you have to give to your client instead of, hey, we are getting your automation, we will surely do automate. So that will not work out. Okay. In automation is all about the behavior of the application. Behavior of applications. If application behavior is changed, then you can't do any automation. So even though your application, suppose think through that you have some Silverlight based applications, okay, that application has more than 100 fields. So you are planning to start your automation to extract data, something like that. But in background, they are changing each and every day. They are changing design, and they are changing attribute. They are changing text boxes, values. They are changing text box IDs, buttons. So each and everything they are changing in background without knowing you are doing some automation on it. So in that case, that would that would go to failure, because whenever you are started to start your dev, then application will be remain same up to your production. And even though sometimes the client will give your development third party applications may be same, but UAT and production, if it is some most of the different attributes will be available. So in that case, that would be the failure. So that environment must be same. See, that environment must be same as dev, UAT, and prod. If environment has been dif having different in each level, then automation is not possible. Okay. So environment is very, very important whenever you are moving ahead with automatable, repeatable, whatever the task you are going to automate. So these are the things we have to consider on it. And one more thing we have to consider, suppose even though your environment is same, suppose think through that they have in my previous experience they are giving some they are planning to do some automations that is Excel related things. So they don't want to go database. They are that client has some important customer data which is having only Excel. So what they want to do, they has to automate from one Excel to, they have to copy the values from one Excel to another Excel, that every Excel having more than 20 lakh records, or else 50 lakh, or else some lakhs and lakhs of records. So in that case, that Excel will not allow you to copy and paste in lakhs and lakhs records within the timeline. So think through that, if you having 10,000 records, if you are copying from one sheet to another sheet and doing some manipulation, that will work properly. But if you are copying 10 lakh records, so behavioral changes has to be happen. Behavioral changes of Microsoft applications. So it's not all about your RPA tool, it's all about the application behavioral changes of Microsoft. So Microsoft Excel has some behavioral changes. So if you use clipboard, for example, if you use clipboard to copy this 10 lakh record to another sheet, and you want to do some data manipulations, like you want to do delete some rows, and insert some another values, and you have to do some auto sum, or else some countings, or else some validation, some findings, whatever you are doing. So that time some behavioral changes of the Microsoft Excel has to be happen. In that case, how you have to be very careful. So you have to check the data, s- how the data will come, how that uh, which means, so what is the way, which means sometimes the data will come through the FTP sites you have to download, and sometimes it will come under the mail, sometimes it will come under any other third party tools. So you have to be careful, and once if you're doing Excel automations, probably you have to make sure you can go with VBA. Some clients they will not allow to go with VBA, which is visual, which is macro, because in some of the US and UK clients they will not allow to go with macros, because some because of some spams and malware attacks, they will not allow to macros. So probably you have to go with VB script. So you have to do some POC on that, and once it is completed, then you have to move on that. If records is more than 10 lakhs or 20 lakhs in inside the Excel, you have to be careful that remind it has to be automate or not. You have to be check with your mini POC. Okay. Thanks guys. Thanks for watching this video. We'll learn some more things in next video. Bye.